the Vancouver Canucks finally have a win. And I'm going to be honest, man. In the last few minutes of that third period, I was kind of saying, okay, they're going to blow it. 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 Give me a reason not to believe they're going to blow it. You know what? Even though it would have been amazing, truly amazing to make a video about an 8th straight loss to kick off the season, especially another game where they blew a lead, this is nice too. It really is. It's not something I think we're used to feeling, but it is something that's kind of there. The Vancouver Canucks have won a game, their first game in 22-23, and Bruce Boudreau's 600th career win as a bench boss in this hockey league. We all kind of know the resume that Bruce Boudreau has had as a coach of the Ducks and the Capitals and all that. He's had a pretty good record over the span of his career, and he is one of the top winningest coaches of all time because of it. Vancouver just allowed him to get his 600th today, and it took 8 games, but they're here. Ultimately, it's a 5-4 win over the Seattle Kraken, and this one was one that I honestly felt like could have gone either way. Like, I know we had been saying throughout a lot of these Canucks games that they could have gone either way. They just happened to blow it most of the time. But this one really was one of those games where even though you had some extended zone time by Seattle in the third period, even though the Kraken got a few goals here and there, even though they came from behind and clawed their way back, tying the game up on multiple occasions, even though they had a few opportunities, Vancouver came out on top. I will say, though, even though this game was a Canucks win, I definitely do think the Kraken could have played better. Even though they did have a lot of opportunities in the third period, they had a lot of extended zone time. If you have the NHL 23 time on attack metric there, you would have probably seen the Kraken have a lot more time on attack than Vancouver, especially in that third. I do feel like the Kraken played a pretty, how do I say this, sloppy game. There were so many passes and cross-seam attempts that the Kraken tried to do that ended up going wide, so many missed passes, so many missed scoring opportunities, pucks thrown towards empty nets where the guy standing backdoor ended up hitting it behind the goal instead of on the goal. There were quite a few plays where I felt Seattle could have really taken advantage, but they just didn't. Now, of course, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. A Canucks win is a Canucks win. I'm just saying that if the Kraken maybe played this game and had the same chances 10 times, they probably don't mess it up as much as they did here in 5 out of the 10 games, let's just say. That's a pretty abstract example. I'm sorry for throwing that out on you. Let's talk about the goals, because we had a lot of goals here scored in this Canucks and Kraken game. The first goal of the game scored by one Ilya Mikheyev, who finally gets the monkey off his back. He finally gets on the board in the ways that many Maple Leafs fans sort of promised he would. It's Luke Schenn who throws the puck in front, and it takes a weird hop off of the guy there, and Mikheyev is right there to pot it in. It's a 1-0 game, even though you probably could have said that Seattle could have scored earlier because there was a 2-on-1 that they had, except the pass from Winberg just hops over the stick of Burakovsky. That's what I'm talking about, man. The sloppiness here in this game. But Mikheyev gives the Canucks the 1-0 lead. You have yourselves a few fights thrown in there as well. The Canucks ended up taking 2 Kraken defensemen off in the first few minutes of the game. JT Miller and Tanner Pearson both drop the gloves. It's Pearson and Larson. It's Miller and Soucy. Eventually, Schenn goes to the box for roughing, and the Canucks are able to kill it off. You then have yourselves Jamie Oleksiak with a long shot in the middle, and it deflects in off of Demko's skate, the inside of his skate, after he stretches out his leg to make the save. Very bad goal by Demko. Honestly, I've been pretty reserved when it comes to criticizing the Canucks main netminder here. I know we've been saying that he hasn't been his best, but this was not a good goal in the slightest. It's 1-1 with 1:21 to go, and then just a few seconds later, Jared McCann gets a mini breakaway, and guess what? When McCann comes in on a goalie 1-on-1, he ends up sniping it. It happens most of the time. 15 seconds to go in the first. Demko makes the save, but it trickles in behind him. It's like an NHL 23 leaky goalie goal right there. McCann with the breakaway, man. How the heck is the Vancouver Canucks giving out breakaways in the final 15 seconds of the game? Not great. You then have yourselves the start of the second, where Will Borgen goes off for holding Dakota Joshua, and it's Ilya Mikheyev who scores off a lucky bounce. Garland tries a dumb pass right through the middle, and it bounces off the Kraken guy, or it's actually Dries who takes the puck after it bounces off the Kraken guy, and he sends it over to Mikheyev on the side, and Mikheyev just throws it towards the goal. It's in, it's 2-2. The power play sucked, honestly. Like, aside from that one opportunity that Mikheyev got on goal, they just couldn't have any zone time on this man advantage, and you gotta thank Mikheyev for getting it by the goalie and giving them a 1-for-1 rating. You then have yourselves another Canucks power play. It also looks pretty bad, but eventually it's Miller with the pass in front, and Kuzmenko goes back door, a similar goal to the one that he'd scored on the opening game against the Edmonton Oilers. It's 3-2 Vancouver, and then it becomes 3-3 because immediately, like 15 seconds after, it's Matty Beniers who gets a breakaway because Niels Oman loses his check. Beniers comes in, he shoots, and he scores. He's very talented, that Matty Beniers, and I've been saying that this entire time. The guy is my Calder winner for 22-23 if I had to place some money on it. So, him getting on the board, making it 3-3 just a few seconds after the Canucks make it 3-2, not the most surprising thing in the world. Pettersson then goes off for tripping. The penalty gets killed. It's Seattle going out there, making a few errant passes and having some zone time, but not actually capitalizing on it. The second period ends, and the Canucks have actually had the lead for only 60 seconds of game time, because when they took the lead earlier on, they would always get goals scored against them in return by the Kraken. And then the third period gets underway, and it's Elias Pettersson who scores right away. 1 minute and 16 seconds in. Luke Schenn comes in with a shot, the puck ends up bouncing because it takes a weird hop, and Petey ends up swatting it in. Beautiful goal for Elias Pettersson, giving Vancouver the lead. It's 4-3, just a minute 16 into the third period, and then you have yourselves some Kraken pressure. OEL throws the puck over the glass, 15-15 left to go in the period, and the Canucks go on the penalty kill. The Kraken can't get the tip on the backdoor play. They try it several times. This is kind of what I mean. Sloppy hockey. And then at the halfway mark at the third, Thatcher Demko has to do snow angels to stop some Kraken opportunities. This Kraken pressure was crazy down by one, but they just couldn't put the nail in the coffin. They could not finish. They could not have that beautiful pass that goes in right away. The Canucks respond with some opportunities of their own. It's Pettersson to Kuzmenko and a cross-crease pass to Mikheyev, who tries to go for the open net tap-in for the hat trick, but he misses, whiffs on it, and then Burakovsky scores. But it doesn't count, because it's Jamie Oleksiak who backhands the puck high right through the crease, and Burakovsky bats it in with a high stick, and it's really high. It's like 2 times the length of the net high, and he kind of looks at the referee, he smiles, he walks it off, he's like, yeah, no, I know, that's not a goal. The Kraken pull the goalie. Conor Garland scores on a very long-range backhand opportunity. It rolls into the net. It's 5-3. And then Tyler Myers goes to the box with 50 seconds to go. Jaden Schwartz scores on the power play with 29 seconds left. They tried the backdoor play once again, and it goes off of Eberle right through the crease, and Jaden Schwartz is there on the opposite backdoor to just bat the puck in, rebound it, and make it 5-4. So ultimately, the Canucks win this game because of Conor Garland's empty net goal. That's the game winner. JT Miller also had a game-winning stop right in front of the point-blank shot with a few seconds left, and he makes the block with his ankle, it looks like. So we'll see what happens. JT Miller had to have a lot of help in order to leave the ice at the end of the game, so we'll see what the heck happens when the Canucks are missing on Miller and Hughes for the next few games, because, you know, Miller, I mean, he's been a warrior, but dude, that guy looked hurt after that shot block. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens when the reviews come out, or let's say the Canucks PR makes a tweet again tomorrow or whatever, because the Canucks are coming home and they're playing the Penguins, so we'll see what happens then. But for now, Vancouver has a win. 1 win, and it comes off a pretty good performance on the score sheet for guys like Ilya Mikheyev. He had 2 goals. You had Kuzmenko with a goal and an assist. Conor Garland had a goal and an assist. Elias Pettersson a goal and an assist. Luke Schenn got 2 assists too, which was very nice. Thatcher Demko stops 32 out of 36, although one of them was in the last 29 seconds of the game. So yeah, I mean, he played pretty okay. He could have been a lot worse, I will say. Some of the goals that he let in, not really the best. You don't want to see the Jared McCann shot trickling in. You don't want to see the Oleksiak slap shot from the point just go right through you. But at the same time, after those 2 goals, I think the rest of them were kind of just fair game. Not really Demko's fault in the slightest. You can't really blame the goalie for breakaways at the same time. So When it comes to the Canucks, they're 1-5-2, something like that. I mean, they're still last in the league. Or, no, they're not. They overtook Anaheim in the standings with the win, right? And they're tied with San Jose, but San Jose has a game in hand, so Vancouver is not last anymore. They're third last. Yeah, third last in the league. This is it, man. They're not going to tank for Bedard anymore. They're making the playoffs. Talk to the comments, like your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Troll9, and bye.